Good morning again. Another story, sitting at the feet of my grandfather. So, grandfather talks about, in ancient Africa, I think 4,000 years ago. He talks about this, this ancient story of the farmer and the axe. So, the farmer was looking for his axe and he could not find it. And so he thought about it. He said, maybe the neighbor's son must have stolen this axe. And so, in the process of looking, he kept observing and watching the neighbor's son. While he was watching the neighbor's son, they said the more he looked, the more he saw the neighbor's son as a thief. And he would look at the way the neighbor's son looks, you know, normally he had dreadlocks, he had tattoos on his body. And so every time he looked at him, he'd be like, oh, he must be a thief. Even the language, his body language, his words he used, the way he looks, you're like, he must be a thief. He stole my axe. In this whole process, he's looking for the axe. He could not find it. He'd be like, he must be the one who stole my axe. And out of a sudden, something happened, right? He was looking for the axe and then he found it. The axe was in the attic. He had some work he was doing in the attic and he needed the axe to cut something that was making some noise in the attic. And he mistakenly left the axe in the attic. And when he had the axe, he looked at, he was like, let me observe this boy again. The more he observed the boy, he realized that the boy did not look as what he was seeing before as the thief. The more he looked at his body language, he realized the boy was actually, a monk, an African monk. He realized that the boy was actually, a spiritualist who never ever stolen anything. The more he looked at his body language, he looked at his eyes, even he observed the tattoos that the guy had. And the tattoos were just, painting of all the different African gods. There wasn't anything, that showed of violence or whatever. But before, the way the tattoos showed when he was looking in the past, it showed like, war, like a lot of different bad things. And when he looked closely, he didn't see that. He saw, deities that he also looked up to. And so he was amazed. And so he pondered. He was like, how can this be? And so grandfather said, yes, that in life, it's called the act of perception. When we think of something to be a certain way, sometimes we see that. What we choose and perceive and want to see, most of the time in life, we'll see that. And so grandfather said, this is how life is. This is how the system of government treats their citizens. They treat them all as thieves, as criminal, or whatever. They create this perception, and this perception, breeds through society like a cankerworm, and everyone starts seeing each other through these eyes. And so a mother wants his child to be good and sees other people's children as bad, as evil. A father wants their son to be good and sees other children as criminals and, thieves. And if anyone has ever observed people like preachers and, men of God, if you've ever watched the lifestyle of their children, normally they normally have the opposite of what they preach, is because throughout their whole time or whatever, they're looking at most people's children as this, as that. They're judging with this judgmental. God or the creator ends up. It's a universal law, it's a spiritual law, but because most of the time people lack wisdom, and so we suffer. So I urge you, as you go out in the world, see the world as a peaceful, as a beautiful thing, because whatever you plan and choose to see, you likely see it. If you want to see peace, if you want to see thieves, if you want to see whatever, If you want to see war, all you have to do is focus and give your attention towards it. Energy goes where attention flows. Attention flows where energy goes. I'll sign up here, Dr. Kang again. Thank you. Bye.